Hey guys, it's Chili B here again. Today we're doing a roll up on the recent town hall for the Ethlizards. It's been a busy 3 or so months for me, and maybe another busy month to go, so I haven't been able to get into videos for a while. But I joined into the town hall today, and I've been keeping up with the news on Ethlizards. So I had to jump in and do this video because there was too much alpha in the town hall to just let it go by. I didn't catch everything because I was working while it was on, so let me know if I missed something or if I got something a bit wrong. I haven't had a chance to go through the white paper yet in detail, but at some point I will, and if I pick up anything new, I'll do an update video. As always, not financial advice, it's never financial advice. The first and maybe the most exciting bit of news to pull out from the town hall is that Annie is joining Ethlizards full-time now as the CEO, which is really exciting. There's also some talk of a CTO and a couple of game devs coming on board as well in the near future. But this is setting a really new and, I guess, professional direction for the Ethlizards, and it's really aiming to be something bigger than we thought it was going to be a year ago, or I thought it was going to be a year ago. A docs is incoming for Annie. I actually thought Annie was his real name, but maybe it's not. That'll all happen once everything's settled and he's actually the full-time CEO of Ethlizards. But something he already shared with us in the town hall was that he's actually had experience managing 9-figure businesses and projects. And if you've heard his videos and if you've seen his Twitter posts and stuff like that, you'd pretty easily believe he's got that type of experience. So I expect when he does dox himself, I expect it to be pretty exciting to see his work history. One thing that stood out to me when he was talking about his role as CEO in the town hall was that he's really going to focus on balancing runway with fast growth. In the crypto world, we've seen a lot of projects fail just because they couldn't manage their treasury. And it's great that Annie's got experience with big balance sheets, and that also this is on his radar as one of the most important things he's going to do as CEO. So pretty exciting. And he's on board with us now. It felt like he was full-time the whole time because he did so much work for Ethlizards, but now he's actually going to be full-time for Ethlizards. Getting into the alpha side of the town hall, the new way of thinking about the Ethlizards DAO is in this 3-pillar framework that they've given us. So the first pillar is the portfolio pillar, which is where we invest our money into Gamefi projects. They develop over time. At the right time, we take profits and then invest into more projects. So that's what we're already familiar with. The second pillar is the community pillar, which I take to be focusing on internal growth, building a great community that's really sustainable over time. And then there's the partnership pillar, which is reaching outwards, outside of our community, to make new partnerships with other Gamefi projects or maybe infrastructure players, and building connections that can be leveraged in the future. So if you can keep those 3 pillars in mind, all this new alpha that's about to come up will make a lot more sense, because there's a lot of it and it's kind of all over the place, but it actually really makes sense if you keep these pillars in mind. A quick run through of the alpha that we'll go through. There was tons of it in there and I don't think I caught everything, but the things that stood out to me are a movement towards game development, a thing called Lizard's Legacy, which is kind of a bit of a game, the Web3 Gaming Alliance, staking is coming out, Lizcoin is making a comeback, and Elemental Lizards. So we'll go through all of those now. First up, game development. Ethlizards is now branching into the game development world, not really as a studio, but we'll talk about that in a sec. The first game they're working on is called Battle in the Beyond. And basically, it's kind of a platform built on top of Illuvium Beyond, where you're opening packs. Shout out to RickyTan77, who actually came up with the idea of doing card pack opening battles, where different people open the cards, and whoever has the best openings and the strongest Illuvatars takes home all the prizes. So that's been done in an informal way. We've seen it on YouTube and all that sort of stuff with the Illuvian team already. But Ethlizards is going to work on a platform to enable that in a more official way. And they're working on this, of course, closely with the Illuvium team. The second game they brought up, which might not come straight after Battle in the Beyond, is Reptile Rush. And it's basically a simple tower defense game. The thing to notice about this is that this doesn't make Ethlizards a game development studio. They're not trying to be a game development studio. Both these games are pretty simple games, and from what they said in the town hall, it doesn't seem like it's going to take a huge amount of time to build out, because they're really just building on other platforms. So Battle in the Beyond is built on the Illuvium Beyond platform already. It's just a mechanism to allow people to properly battle the card pack openings. Reptile Rush is possibly just going to be a skinned tower defense game, or they might just buy up an upcoming tower defense game and just change the models. So if it's not a game development studio, why are they building games? Maybe you could think of Ethlizards as a metagaming studio or something like that. The overall goal isn't to build amazing new games at AAA level and take over the market. It's more to build out other games further so that we can integrate partner IPs into various games. The example I gave with Reptile Rush was that maybe we would have Ethlizard towers in there, but we might also have towers from other IPs that we partner with. And so we start to build out this ecosystem where a whole bunch of IPs integrate with each other through the Ethlizards. And the way that they're going to do that is to leverage existing platforms. So we're just going to gamify what's already out there. So it saves us a whole bunch of dev time. And the layer on top should hopefully be relatively simple to build. And then that means this might all happen a lot faster than we think it might happen. For example, on their roadmap, Battle in the Beyond is expected to have a working product that they can at least demonstrate to investors by Q2. And considering this is about halfway through March, and they haven't even started working on it, I think that gives us an indication of how quickly they think this type of stuff will happen. It's not building a new game, it's not building a whole bunch of models and interesting game mechanics and all that sort of stuff. It's really just a layer on top of other games to help integrate partners into a giant Ethlizard ecosystem. So that's actually pretty exciting because it's different than what anyone else out there is doing, as far as I know. There's lots of investment DAOs and stuff, but there's no one trying to pull them together in this metagame sort of way where we can interact with each other and cross-pollinate different IPs. So pretty exciting, and if Ethlizards pulls it off, they'll be at the center of all of that. Next up is Lizard's Legacy. They didn't drop too much info about this, so really I could have dealt with it in the game development section, but I think it's worthy of its own thought. And one reason that made me do that is because Annie points this out as the item that's most exciting him about the future roadmap of Ethlizards. And the reason I think Annie's excited is because this metagame is targeting specifically pro gamers. And pro gamers are really the gateway to the broader Web 2 gaming market. And the Web 2 gaming market is really the gateway to Web 3 gaming exploding. If Web 2 gamers become Web 3 gamers, that basically locks in the future of Web 3 gaming and the whole industry that we're a part of. As I said before, details are light, but it seems like it's going to be a seasonal metagame competition of some sort, and each season there's going to be a champion. And that champion is going to get awarded a champion lizard. And the champion lizard is actually going to be a V3 lizard, which will have a proportional share of the investment portfolio and will have a vote in the DAO, just like V2 lizards and Genesis lizards. And there's going to be about 10 of them per year, at a rough guess. My first thought when I heard this was that it sounds like we're just going to get diluted really heavily. We currently have 5,000 lizards, just for rough numbers. So 10 lizards per year would be about a 0.2% increase per year. And that is dilution. But the real question is it a creative dilution? Will diluting the Ethlizards by 0.2% per year actually increase the value of the Ethlizards by more than 0.2%? If it does, then it's a creative dilution. As in, by diluting it, we're actually increasing the overall value, and so increasing the individual value of each Ethlizard. Considering what Lizard's Legacy is trying to do by pulling in Web 2 gamers via pro gamers, I think it's definitely got the potential to increase the Ethlizards by more than 0.2%. If this moves the needle just a little on that Web 2 gaming front, we're easily going to get back our 0.2% dilution per year. On the surface, dilution might be something to worry about, But if it succeeds, we're not even going to notice that 0.2%. Now thinking about the Web3 Gaming Alliance, this is another area that didn't have too much details, but again, sounds really exciting. Basically, it's a joint venture framework, meaning it's a group of separate entities coming together to achieve a common goal. They didn't specify what that goal is, but to me it sounds like the obvious goal of the Web3 Gaming Alliance would be to build a network of the major Web3 players to reach the goal of bringing Web3 gaming to the mainstream, or something like that. So that means that this Web3 Gaming Alliance isn't really aiming to go from business to customer, B2C, but is really going business to business, trying to reach other infrastructure projects or gaming projects or other investment DAOs, bring them all together and figure out how we can work together to make Web3 mainstream so that we all succeed and we all grow. So it's a really good initiative. And again, not something that I've seen anyone try and do in this space yet. It's obviously really common in the business world, but maybe crypto is finally catching up on that front. Staking, the thing everyone is waiting for, it's very close, but in the recent past it's been delayed because of what's happened with royalties on OpenSea and Blur and other platforms as well, probably. Being Ethlizards, I'm sure you all know that they've cut the royalties for creators. I'm not sure on which side of the argument you stand on that, but I think it's a good thing in general that creators are rewarded with royalties for their products. And Ethlizards itself really depends on the royalties as an important stream of income. So we need to secure the royalties against what's happening with OpenSea and Blur at the moment. And what that means is the smart contract for Ethlizards v2 needs to be tweaked a bit so that we're able to allow or disallow sales based on if the marketplace is paying royalties or not. We don't have too many details yet, and the stuff that came out shared on the town hall was a bit too fast for me to fully catch, but here's what I got from it. The current ETA is 30th of March for the deployment of the new contract. New NFTs will be airdropped to existing holders. There will be a period when we're transitioning from the old contract to the new contract where the NFTs will be unsellable, or you shouldn't sell it because it just causes problems and you're just going to waste your gas. And this is exciting. The old ones might still have some utility. I don't know what sort of utility. They're definitely not going to be the V2s anymore. The current V2s will be deprecated. We'll have a new set of V2s which will take over all the functionality. But those old NFTs will still sit in our wallet and they might have some sort of utility in the future. And more info is coming. So keep an eye out for articles and all that sort of stuff, especially as we get closer to the 30th. Over to Lizcoin, it was big for a while and then it died off. And now it's kind of got a new breath of life in it. Lizcoin's mostly going to be working within the partnership pillar. It'll have nothing to do with the portfolio pillar anymore. Your Lizcoin, if you have any of it in the future, doesn't entitle you to any of the profits from the investments that are made by the DAO. It's a totally separate thing. It seems like the main function of Lizcoin is to allow Ethlizards to do a capital raise. One of the things we've always struggled with is that we haven't had enough money in the treasury to do the things that we wanted. Even when Kamau and Jumbo first came on, and Lucius as well, it was really tight money-wise, and we didn't know if we could pay them, didn't know how long we could sustain them for, and all of that sort of stuff. And I'm sure in the background, Kieran's kind of poured money into it, just out of his own pocket too. And part of that is because Ethlizards was just a grassroots movement. We never had a VC backing us or anything like that. We just kind of bootstrapped from the ground up. But now we got the chance to do a capital raise with Lizcoin, where we can actually raise enough funding to achieve all the goals that we want to achieve. There'll be 100 million max supply in Lizcoin. There'll be a pre-seed sale in Q1 and there'll be a seed sale in Q2. I think the seed sale is going to go at an FDV of about 25 million. But the whole point of Ethlizards was that it's a bunch of Degens that get to become VCs. So it'd be a bit sad if this capital raise all went to VCs and we actually missed out on it ourselves. So of course the team has given us an allocation into the pre-seed sale. You get $100 allocation per Ethlizard that you hold, and that's going to be token gated through the Alien pool, which we've kind of experienced with Thalon. And on top of that, we're also going to get an airdrop of Lizcoin when it first comes out too. So being an Ethlizards holder, you get a couple of benefits in this, and you definitely don't miss out, and we're definitely not losing to the VCs. Hopefully this is a win all around. Talking about the utility of Lizcoin, the first thing is that you can farm it, and there'll be about 3 years of farming rewards. And there's also something that Annie called a farming plus sort of system. So you don't just put your coins in there and get more coins out, but you're able to farm more coins by carrying out tasks that will be helpful for the DAO. So that might be translating content into another language. It might be making memes or whatever the DAO finds useful and I'm assuming wants to fund. That could be another way to farm Lizcoin. And then on top of that, if you're an Ethlizard staker, you're going to get bonus APY on your Lizcoin farming as well. So Ethlizard holders aren't missing out because Lizcoin has come on the scene now. The next bit of utility is as in-game rewards, and there's about 5 years worth of in-game rewards allocated at the moment. It's also going to have some community sub-DAO governance. So it seems like each of these pillars will effectively become a sub-DAO under the Ethlizards DAO as a whole. And the Lizcoin will be the governance token of the community sub-DAO. And then last but not least, our favorite utility of all, revenue distribution. So the streams of revenue for distribution are gaming revenue. So all these meta games that are happening will generate bits of income, and that'll go to token holders or token stakers. Merch and whatever else comes through the Liz shop will be another revenue stream, and business to business fees through the Web3 Alliance will also come through. So potentially this can scale up massively. The thing to remember is that Lizcoin holders will not get access to the investment portfolio. That's just for NFT holders. So this is access to a very separate stream of income than the investment portfolio. Then the last one to go through is elemental lizards. Again, details on this are a bit blurry. There was always a bit of hesitancy around the baby lizards because basically it was dilutionary, or at best it was just a token split. But the elemental lizards seem to be something totally different. Again, elemental lizards have no access to the portfolio pillar. That's just for V1, V2, and the incoming V3 NFTs. The elementals are more based in the community pillar. There's going to be 4,500 of them that are given to the treasury, and then each lizard holder will get 2 airdrop to them. This is where things are super blurry. I didn't see any mention of it in the white paper, so maybe this is a distant idea. But from what I picked up, it seems like different elemental lizards have different utilities, so you'll probably want to collect a bunch of them. And I think the main purpose of it is to gamify community. That was just the vibe that I got from it. I don't have any more details. I didn't hear too much mention about it in the town hall. Hopefully we'll find out more about it soon in the coming weeks. But this is an interesting idea and I'm keen to see where it goes. So before I summarize everything, we just need to mention that we are a DAO and none of this has actually gone through the approval process yet. So all of it's up for discussion. If you hop in Discord, you'll find a thread under governance and you can type all your thoughts in there. And it's all open for you to have a say and you'll get to have your vote on it as well. So you might love all these ideas, you might hate them all. But the good news is whatever you think about it, you get to have your voice. So I'd encourage you to share your thoughts, read through the white paper and do a bit of research and thinking and let us know. Okay, that's a whole bunch of alpha. So let me summarize that as best as I can for you, as far as I understand it anyway. We've got our 3 pillars, the portfolio, community, and partnership pillars. It seems like everything's going to be built out of these 3 pillars. In the portfolio pillar, we already have V1 and V2 lizards, and eventually we're going to have the V3 champion lizards. Staking is coming soon, which is the mechanism to access the profits from the investments. So keep an eye out for more details about that. Under the community pillar, we have the elemental lizards. Not too much details on those, but it seems like a gamifying of community. And then we also have yield farming plus, so the ability for the community to earn Lizcoin, not just by staking Lizcoin and getting more of it, but by actively contributing to the community to earn the Lizcoin. And then the partnership pillar, we have the Web3 Alliance, Battle in the Beyond, Lizard Rush, Lizard's Legacy, and all of that funnels into Lizcoin. And then Lizcoin itself is distributed through the farms, and then you get bonus APR on the farming if you're staking your lizards as well. So the three pillars are mostly independent, but there is a little bit of interaction between the three. And that's the latest update on what's going on with Ethlizards. Tons has happened. Hopefully I can get back into videos soon. But if you liked this, please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.